Dear friends in Jesus Christ, today we celebrate the solemnity of the body and blood of Christ. This feast not only reiterates the importance of the Eucharist, but also calls us to commit us to believe, to live, and to proclaim the Eucharist in our day to day life. Here, I just reproduce the homily by Saint Peter Julian Eymard, the apostle of the Eucharist, the founder of the Congregation of the Blessed Sacrament. He gave this homily in Paris on Thursday, 21st of February 1867, on the theme of the importance of receiving communion. You will see the relevance of this homily even today. Now, I deliver his homily to you all. The bread feeds the life of the body, and the Eucharist the life of the soul. But there is another effect. The Eucharist strengthens. To eat so as not to die is barely prudence, and it is insufficient. We need to take strength. Elijah has a long journey ahead of him. He takes the bread given to him by an angel during his sleep, and his strength returns greatly, and he walks without trouble to the mountain of God. In the same way, Eucharist helps us to live our life. Eucharist helps us to walk ahead. That is why it is very important to receive Holy Communion. I share this on 4 themes. First, Eucharist is our strength. The closer we come to God, the more will we desire to practice His virtues, and the more should we expect battles. Therefore, the more should we take strength so as not to be conquered. For this, the Eucharist is our only strength. Prayer and piety are not sufficient. These soon languish and quickly end without the Eucharist. The general rule is piety without communion is a dead piety. When you had abandoned the communion, the Eucharist, how have you accomplished your other duties? This is the question we must ask. Second, the Eucharist is our life. The Lord said, "The one who eats me has life." Did you hear? The one who eats me. Nothing more. Baptism gives you life, but does not sustain it. Confirmation arms us, but does not give us ammunition to the road. And courage does not nourish us. Penance restores life, but does not sustain it in our action. All the sacraments are a preparation for the Eucharist that completes and crowns them. What is the life that the Eucharist gives us? Active life in its positive acts. Jesus tells us, "Follow me." We cannot do this without knowing and loving Him. Deny yourself. These are all virtues to practice a difficult life. Again, once more, who will give you the strength? The Eucharist gives you the strength. The one who abides in me will bear much fruit. How do we abide in Jesus? He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me and I in him. When we have Jesus in us, we are two persons, and the shared burden is light. Third, the Eucharist is our sweetness. The third quality of this bread is sweetness. Where is found sweetness par excellence? In this bit of honey that is the Eucharist. Some want to walk in holiness without Jesus. Life is short. It is to be feared that our crown will not be completely finished when death will surprise us. You decide to proceed without Eucharist, without communion. But, my poor brother, poor sister, the tradition of centuries is condemning you. Stop reciting the prayer, Our Father, if you want to live without communion, because in this prayer you are asking for something that you want to do without it. Notice that through the Eucharist we go immediately to the positive side of virtue. Without it, we are always in battle, fighting. But holiness does not consist only in healing. It consists also in building and decorating. Ah, those who do not communicate have no understanding of the more attractive side of virtue, that is, to work not just for ourselves, but when we have done what is needed for our salvation, we work for the glory of God, for His love, out of friendship for Him, through filial love, without hoping for any reward. The one who receives communion understands easily this. Having received much, he is held to give much in return. That is an intelligent piety. Experience the sweetness of the Eucharist. Fourth, Eucharist is our happiness. The one who receives communion is happy in the midst of the greatest trials, happy with a lovable and sweet joy. The Christian life does not consist only in resisting the devil and practicing a few virtues. The summit of perfection consists in maintaining united to God in the midst of the most violent and internal temptations. And that scandalizes the people of the world. Notice this person agitated, tempted by the devil, burdened with misfortunes. It seems to be abandoned by God. This other person, on the contrary, is quiet. And everything succeeds as he desires. And yet, the first person receives communion very often, while this one very rarely. What can you say about this? Look at a small pond. Its water is calm. The sun reflects on it, and a rainbow delights in spreading its colors over it. On the contrary, this torrential lake is full of noise, strong waves, and foam. But look deeply at this pond. God, what a fetid smell! But for the lake, oh, the water at the bottom is pure, and its rapid flow does not allow any mud to be formed. Its movement keeps it pure. So also the tempted soul returns to its source to take on new strength. It is purified by the torrent of grace and love. The more it is tempted, the more does God love you. I am concluding. Receive communion then, if you want to have a healthy life, a reserve for your battles, and a happiness even in your adversities. You also have the example of the saints and martyrs. The Eucharist is the bread for the weak and the bread for the strong. It is needed for us, one and for all. For the weak, it is evident. For the strong, let the one who is standing be on your guard, lest he fall. Our way is surrounded by robbers. Let us find security in Him. It is the Eucharistic Lord, the Eucharistic Jesus. Receive communion often. Amen.